When Avalanche Rust was just starting, I gave you guys my top 6 projects I thought had potential. Let's go over them and see where they are now. Bonus, I'm going to tell you guys about some other projects that haven't gotten much attention yet. What's up guys, this is the Morecoin YouTube channel. Let's get into it. First on my list is Trader Joe. Trader Joe surprised a lot of people by becoming the best performing asset on Avalanche. When I covered it, it was 32 cents. Congratulations to anyone who got in then, because if you sold anywhere close to the local top, which was $2.60, you made at least 5x. I still think this project is undervalued, and I'm currently staking my Joe for XJoe. Now, this next part is pure speculation, but you guys might find it interesting. I think that they are going to get liquidity mining incentives from Avalanche. I was watching Taiki's video talking with the director of DeFi Labs. He kept calling Avax Avalanche, and it bothered me so much. I mean, it could be correct for all I know. The man is the director of DeFi, right? But it's just... Anyway, that's besides the point. Towards the end of the video, they talked about incentivizing platforms that create more transactions and how that would be good for Avalanche's price since transaction fees are burned. Now, they didn't go into a lot of detail, but if they're going to incentivize any platform to accomplish this, why wouldn't they choose the #1 DEX on the network? Again, this is just my opinion and definitely not confirmed. As I was making this video, Trader Joe just announced that it's getting backed by 3 Arrows Capital, the Avalanche Foundation, Delphi Digital, and Aave founder Stani Kulecho, which reinforces my belief that there is a good chance they will be seeing some of that sweet Avalanche Rush money. Next, we have to talk about Pangolin. Trader Joe obviously stole their lunch money. I mean, Pangolin had months to prepare, innovate, and find a way to dominate the space, and they just fumbled hard. Now, I've heard that the devs for the platform walked away from the project and the community stepped up and took it over. If that's true, then I'll give them credit for doing that and having it do as well as it did. But ultimately, only so many people will want to use the #2 DEX on the chain. And when I found out that a significant portion of their TVL is from the farm token, well, that's when I personally got out of my PNG position. When I talked about them initially, the price was $3.58. It hit a local high around $4.48, which was a really underwhelming move and has since corrected to under $2. So BenQi, I did a full video on. In case you don't know, it's the first and currently the only money market on Avalanche. In my video, I said that without having any utility besides governance, I think people are going to dump this when Aave and Curve show up. So my plan was just to farm and dump this token. Well, a bunch of people seem to be using that strategy because after almost 3xing to 40 cents after I covered it, it's now on a steady decline as people dump this token. In my last Gems video, I talked about how I hadn't investigated Elk Finance, and I still haven't. I keep passing on it because I personally don't have a use for it. I don't need to use them to bridge from one place to another, and the bridges that already exist just feel more reliable simply because I know them. However, the market seems to like Elk because its price has been doing remarkably well during the recent correction that was destroying all the other tokens. When I covered it, it was $2.57. It peaked a few days later at $3.85 and has since retraced to under $2.70. Next, let's quickly cover Sherpa. So nothing new has come out about this project. As far as I know, there is still no release date. It's becoming less and less interesting to me because they don't seem to give updates or post on Twitter very often. When I initially covered it, it was at $3.12. It then almost 2x to a local high of $6.18, but has since retraced to about where it was when I first covered it. Lastly, we have penguin.finance. Now that I've looked into penguin.finance a little more, I can honestly say I think it's one of the most degen plays on Avalanche right now. Like I said before, I really don't understand why the token has actual value now. It has a bunch of things that are coming soon, and it may have value later. But if I'm going to invest, I'm waiting to get in once it's launched anything more than just a farm and a 30-second video. When I initially covered it, PeFi was $2.13. It 2x to $4.29 and has since corrected hard. Let's look at 2 tokens that have been shilled at me over the last week. #1 is Avalaunch. Avalaunch is the primary launchpad for the Avalanche ecosystem. While I was looking into this, I came across a video by Cedarnet. I'll leave a link in the description. It does an excellent job of breaking down the token's distribution. Long story short, their team gets 21% of the token. They themselves admit that the private sale was mostly to friends and family, aka the inner circle, and that was about 30% of the token. Then you have the partners and advisors getting 9%. Only 5% was sold publicly on Pangolin, and the rest is going to the liquidity mining incentives. Now, my question to you is, of the remaining tokens that are going to be farmed, who will likely get most of them? The community that has about 5% of the total supply, or the inner circle who was able to buy in for pennies and who collectively can create scarcity if they so choose. For these reasons and more, this one's a hard pass for me. Last but not least is Ape-x. This is as degen as degen gets. It's a meme coin that has no actual use outside of being a meme coin. By the time you see this video, it might be worthless. I'm not gonna lie, I just like the vibe I get from it. So I threw in 20 bucks yesterday and it 2x. I pulled my initial investment out and now I'm just letting it ride. Meme coins are always a gamble, so do your own research. What other coins do you guys think have potential? Show them to me down in the comments. Next, you should check out this video on how to do your own research. I'll see you in the next video and we can keep talking about all the ways to get more coin.